In this video guide, I will show you how to use GanttProject, which is a management software, and it can be used to create and manage projects, tasks, resources, and so on. So this is a free software. You can go to the website, which is GanttProject.biz, and you can download the latest version. Here you have the option 1, which is $5, and the option 2 is the free download. You can click here and then you can click on download, and you will get the software inside your computer. So before we get into GanttProject and before you install it, it doesn't take too long to install. It's not a very heavy software. And before we start, what is a Gantt chart? A Gantt chart is a management tool, which I will show you right away. And again, it's used to manage projects and to create subsequential tasks. So before I do one task, I have to wait for the other, and then comes the other, and so on. You can also manage more than one project at a time, so you can be like multitasking. And another very nice service that I will suggest to you, and you can find the guide also in our YouTube channel. So the software is called Gantt, and it's this one. So these are the two options actually. I believe that Gantt works more when you have to do something in cloud. So when you want to share and you want to collaborate, you have to do like smart working, and you have to show also to other people what you do. And here you can click and you can see you have the English version available. If you click down here, just wait for a few seconds, should turn in English. You will find the video guide about Gantt in our YouTube channel. So basically you have these, you don't only have these two options here, but I believe these are the most valid. This one to work online and this one to work offline, but also if you can also share some information that with GanttProject as well. So they are both valid options. And for Gantt, you can download it as well, but you can use it also directly on a web page. Instead, for this, I have to download it and install it. The installation is pretty straightforward, so I will not bore you with the installation. It's pretty simple and fast. And once you have installed it, you can search for it by searching Gantt. And this is the icon here that should appear also on your desktop the first time that you install it. So I will click on this and let's get into business. So this is the interface. It's pretty simple, as you can see, and also it's similar to the most common one, which is probably Microsoft Project, which is a tool from the Microsoft Office suite. That also it's another option, but I think that this is not for free, so you can make your own choice. Okay, now how this works. I have this timeline right here, and all I have to do is decide when the project has to start and when it has to finish, and then I can bring people inside and also tasks and manage everything. So this is the Gantt chart here, and right now I don't have any project. If I right click here, I can directly select new activity. I'm sorry, this is in Italian. I'm just realizing right now. Let me see if I can change it into English. I'll go into the settings, and well, I don't see. Oh yeah, there it is. So let me go into English. All right, there you go. So right click, we can add a new task, and there you go. This is a new task. I can now start to work with this. I can click and well, if I want to move this, I need to hold the control on my keyboard so I can move it around, forward in time or backward. I can also enlarge this, so this will take more days to make. And again, let's see some other tools here. If I go to the drop-down menu, I can add a new file, which is a new project. I can also import and export data, and I can print this to send it to someone. On the edit here, I can cut, copy and paste. I can do the basic things, and I can go back to the settings. And also in the settings panel, you have a lot of other things to set. If you want to go here, the colors and the task colors, so on. Okay, now we get to the view, and we also have this paired chart, which is another way to show your project. Let's go back here to the Gantt chart, and then we have the task. So here we can also create a new task. And for example, let's say that this task is after this one, and you can call this any way, anything you like. I'm just now want to show you the basic. Okay, so I hold control, I click with the left mouse and I drag this right here. So in my project, these are two different tasks. Also, I can click here in the middle with the left mouse to scroll back and forward. Also, you have other option here. If you hold control and the scroll wheel, you can zoom in, zoom out. Let me clear these messages down here. Okay, so now I want to link these two together. I want to say, okay, before I can actually go to activity 44, I need to finish activity 0. So I will click here and drag it out with the left mouse button, this arrow, and link it here. So these become subsequential. So I cannot do this one before I do this one. And this is a way to organize the things that you have to do, that you or your team have to do. And you can continue to add tasks. So let me again add a new task, hold control, move it here, add again this relation and bring this forward. So these are really basic tools to create a project, but again, it's free. So you can make your own choice. If you want some more professional tools, you can find it on the web. And also a Gantt, it's a little bit more professional than this. It has a little more tools, and it's a little bit more appealing in the look and feel of the interface, the user interface and the user experience. Okay, here I can add resources. So I can click here and let's add, for example, Alex, and I can put its phone number here, the mail, and also I can decide if I want to set some payment rate and the days off. And also I can manage columns. I can add and remove columns from here. So this is a panel dedicated to resources. Once, let's add another resource. Let's name this Ellen. Okay. So I have two resources here, and now I can assign, for example, this activity to a resource. So if I double click on these tasks with the left mouse, I can see what this task is about. So it's telling me the name. I can also define a milestone here. So I can, let me create another task. Okay, and I want to bring this hold control, bring it here, and I want to place it, I want to move it down. So right click, and I can move it down, or I can move it up, like that. And now I want to double click on this, and I want to define a milestone. So a milestone is another representation here, and it's needed to say, okay, by this date I need to have something done, like a beta version or an alpha version of my product or my service. So it's kind of a deadline there. you can set more milestones along the way. And if you double click now into another task, again you have your begin date, your end date, or your duration. You can either work on the duration. So for example, let's set this to 10, and this will automatically add some days there, so it will last a few days more. Or I can click here and I can change this. So if I set the duration is calculated, here I can set the date and the duration will be automatically calculated here. So you can do both ways, the way that you like the most. And also you have other stuff here that you can set. For example, the priority and the progress. Let's set, for example, 20%. And also if you want to show this or not, the shape that you want inside. Let's select this, for example, and the colors, if I want to change the color here. Also, I can add a web link. Predecessors, this is what comes before this activity, which is activity 44, and also the resources here. So I will add a resource, which is Alex, and also I will add Helen to this, and again I have some custom columns. Okay, so you can see now the graphic has changed a little bit, so this will make me understand that this is a different type of activity, and again you can work a little bit with the graphics. Other things that you can do, let's create a new task, and let's call this phase 1. Okay, and let's bring this up and up and up. Okay, now I can bring some activities into this. So let me stretch this like that. Okay, and for example I want to bring activity 0 inside this, so we'll click and drag this inside. And also I want to bring this other activity. Okay, now you can see that this line has become black, which means that this is much more like a container than a simple task. So it's kind of a bigger task with a smaller task inside, and I can continue to place task inside task inside task. So you have other option here that you can do to create much more complex projects. So again, this is a pretty simple software that you can use. Again, you can check now the resources chart, which is another chart, or the paired chart, and you can also organize this a little bit differently. You can move these nodes around, and you can create a diagram or however you want. This is also pretty nice. Again, you can print this. You can also share with other people. You can save it and send it by email. What you can do at the moment is like going online, like going into the cloud and synchronize it with other devices. You can do this, for example, in a Gantt. You cannot do this here. This works if you maybe want to keep this in your computer and you don't want to share it too much, or you just want to save this to print it out and place it on your office, for example. So it's a really basic tool, but it's pretty easy to use, pretty fast and easy to use. So I think this is all for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and support us, and see you in the next video.